wrestling fans, and welcome to Primetime Wrestling. I'm your host, Gotmark76, and we have a loaded show for you tonight. We are starting things off with the Junkyard Dog taking on adorable Adrian Adonis as he backdrops the Junkyard Dog to the outside floor. Fans, last week the big event made history in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. A new Intercontinental Champion was crowned in magnificent Don the Rock Morocco. New World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions were crowned as Demolition defeated the Killer Bees. And a new World Heavyweight Champion was not crowned as Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, with the use of a steel chair, manager interference, and a handful of Hulk Hogan's tights, defeated Hulk Hogan in the main event of the big event. So this week's main event here on Primetime Wrestling will be a four-man elimination match to determine a new #1 contender to Mr. Wonderful's world title. As Junkyard Dog gets a one count on Adrian Adonis. That is a huge main event for you this evening. We thank you for tuning in. Also on the show, King Kong Bundy does battle with Billy Jack Haynes. A loaded show. Again, we have an update going over the big event. And we thank you for tuning in to YouTube. And Junkyard Dog has adorable Adrian Adonis. He's going to suplex him back into the ring. Up and over goes the big man. And the Junkyard Dog in control of this contest with a big jab. Whips Adrian hard into the turnbuckle. A kick to the midsection. And now setting up Adrian Adonis for a pile driver. And he hits it, and Adonis goes down. And the fans here in New York City love the Junkyard Dog. And a big left hand, a right hand, missed by Adrian Adonis, and an elbow does not. And JYD throws over the adorable one to the outside floor. Junkyard Dog soon follows, and Jimmy Hart trying to interfere on behalf of Adonis. And a kick to the midsection by the adorable one. The referee has started his count. Adonis has Junkyard Dog up. Oh, and a suplex on the concrete floor here in Madison Square Garden. The referee urging the wrestlers to come back into the ring, but Adonis is stomping away on the Junkyard Dog. And now rubbing the Junkyard Dog's face into the mat and drops an elbow to the back. The referee is up to 5. These two men better be careful. And Adonis throws the JYD into the announce table. A kick to the midsection. And a big right hand. And now a belly to back suplex. Oh, reversed by the JYD. And the dog rolls back into the ring. Jimmy Hart trying to get Adrian Adonis back to his feet. He does. The referee's count is up to 9. And can Adonis make it in? He cannot. And the Junkyard Dog is victorious as a result of a count out here in the opening contest of Primetime Wrestling. And even with the assistance of his manager, Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, Adrian Adonis could not get back into the ring in time. Fans, we have a loaded card for you. The main event, the 4-way match, elimination style, as Macho Man Randy Savage, Roddy Piper, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and the Natural Butch Reed go to war to see who will become the new #1 contender. Fans, we'll be right back after this quick timeout and WWF update. Don't go away.
From the pages of the World Wrestling Federation magazine, here's Update.
Hello, wrestling fans. I'm your host, Gotmark76, and welcome to Update. We are 1 week removed from 70,000 fans jam-packing Exhibition Stadium in Toronto, Ontario, Canada for the big event. During that show, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff defended the World Heavyweight Championship against Hulk Hogan, and early going in the contest resorted to the use of a steel chair to try and attack the Hulkster. During the course of the match, Mr. Wonderful grabbed the chair again, busting open Hulk Hogan. He nailed not one but 2 pile drivers, and still Hulk Hogan was not put away. Hulk Hogan made a comeback, dropped his finishing maneuver, that running leg drop on Mr. Wonderful, only to be distracted by Bobby the Brain Heenan when going for the pinfall. That interference allowed Mr. Wonderful to roll up from behind and pin Hulk Hogan, grabbing a handful of trunks. Tonight's main event on Primetime Wrestling will be a new #1 contenders match, as a 4-man elimination match will take place. It will be the Natural Butch Reed, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and the Macho Man Randy Savage, along with Rowdy Roddy Piper. The last man standing will be the undisputed #1 contender to the World Heavyweight Championship. Fans, we thank you for tuning in to Update. I'm Gotmark76, and we'll see you at the matches. Goodbye, everybody. And Bundy staying on top of Billy Jack Haynes, who fires back with a clothesline, taking Bundy down. We are joining this match in progress. We thank you for tuning in as Bobby Heenan, again having words with Billy Jack Haynes on the outside. This is allowing King Kong Bundy to get back to his feet. And from behind, Bundy with a slam down on the back of Billy Jack Haynes. And King Kong Bundy picking up Haynes, looking to do more damage, and throws his head into the mat. Bundy going for the cover. Referee's counting 1, 2, and throw a kick out at the last second by Billy Jack Haynes. Oh, that was close. You do not get much closer than that. And Bundy staying on the attack. Whips Haynes over the top rope. And hip tosses him back in. And now Bundy picking up Haynes. Could it be? It is a guillotine over the top rope. And Haynes was in control earlier in the matchup. And for the last few minutes, it's been all Bundy. And now Bundy picks up Haynes. And whips him hard into the turnbuckle. And follows up by picking up Haynes. And a body slam into that top turnbuckle, tying him into the Tree of Woe. Stopping now on the midsection of Billy Jack Haynes is King Kong Bundy. And Haynes rolling out of the way, but walks right into a chop. Bundy, a big chop across the chest of Billy Jack, who wisely rolls to the floor. And Billy Jack Haynes, looking to collect himself, goes back into the ring and meets Bundy with a big right hand. And here it comes, his opportunity. Whips Bundy hard into the turnbuckle, falls up with a clothesline, taking Bundy down. Could we be seeing that backbreaker? He has him up. He has Bundy up. That's 400 pounds on the back. Oh, and his back gave out. And Heenan now up on the apron. Billy Jack wisely going for the cover, but the referee distracted by the brain. Are you kidding me? Haynes staying in control. And here is the full Nelson. Is Bundy gonna tap? Bundy in trouble. Haynes has it locked in. The full Nelson. And Bundy trying to fight out of it. Using the weight to his advantage. Maneuvering himself. And Bundy getting out of it by using his backside and nailing Haynes in the midsection. But Haynes staying on top. Whips Bundy into the ropes, follows up with a big chop, takes Bundy down. The fans here in Boston have risen to their feet. Haynes goes for the cover too, and a kick out by Bundy. Oh, what a back and forth contest here on Primetime Wrestling. And a beautiful drop kick by Haynes takes Bundy down. Bundy wisely rolling to the floor, and Haynes gonna follow him. He goes out, stomping away on King Kong Bundy. Has Bundy, whips him hard into the guardrail, the entrance guardrail, and ramming him face first. I don't recall ever seeing King Kong Bundy manhandled like this, but he is at the hands of Billy Jack Haynes. And Billy Jack throwing Bundy again into the guardrail. Oh man, Bundy flipped over, misses with a clothesline. Bundy going after Haynes. Haynes nails him with a chop. Oh, this is a beautiful contest between these two men, battling it out on the floor. And whips Bundy hard into the ring. Billy Jack Haynes has to watch the count. The referee, I think, is up to 7 or 8. Throws Bundy into the ring. The referee's up to 9. And wait a second, Billy Jack Haynes getting counted out. Inadvertently, he lost track of the count. And Bundy is going to win this contest as a result of a count out. Oh man, I don't want to say that's a fluke, but that's a fluke. And Bundy getting rolled into the ring by Billy Jack Haynes, who did not pay attention to the count. And there he is picking up Bundy, but his back gave out. Went for the cover and the brain interfered. Fans, your winner of this contest, Heenan family member King Kong Bundy. But Billy Jack Haynes manhandled this guy. Oh, these two are not done. I would imagine that somewhere across the country, we're going to see King Kong Bundy and Billy Jack Haynes go at it one more time. Fans, our main event is next. The 4-man #1 contenders match. We'll be right back after this quick timeout.
Told her quite a story, said I love her forevermore.
And here we are, fans, the main event of Prime Time Wrestling. And Roddy Piper going at it with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, Butch Reed, and the Macho Man going at it. I will do my best to stay up with the action here. And Piper working the leg of Ted DiBiase, while the Natural picking up Savage, who reverses it. Beautiful maneuver by the Macho Man. So the rules of this contest are simple. Pinfall, submission, count out, disqualification until one man is remaining. Piper going for the cover. On DiBiase, foot on the ropes, and DiBiase kicks out. So you may have Ted DiBiase going against Butch Reed, or you may have Roddy Piper going against Randy Savage. And a beautiful reversal by the $1 Million Man, back-flipping Piper up and over. The Macho Man and Butch Reed out on the floor. And the Natural setting up the Macho Man for a pile driver on the floor, and he nails him with it. Payback from the big event just last week when the Macho Man pile drove Butch Reed on the floor and both men were counted out. Meanwhile, Ted DiBiase in the ring raking the eyes of Roddy Piper. DiBiase whipping Piper into the ropes. Oh, and missing a knee to the midsection. Piper thrown up and down with a chop. Savage throwing Reed back into the ring, and all four men are back in the ring. And I do not envy the referee. DiBiase with a nerve hold on Roddy Piper. Piper reversing it, sweeps the leg, takes DiBiase down. The winner of this contest will be the #1 contender to Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff's World Heavyweight title. Oh, and a beautiful maneuver by the Macho Man. The Macho Man going out to the universe here. As DiBiase picks up Piper, puts him up on his shoulders. And a snake eyes across the top turnbuckle, sends Piper in the corner. Macho Man now working the leg of the Natural. DiBiase stomping away on the throat of Roddy Piper. Piper was victorious in his match against the $1 Million Man, while Savage and Reed fought to a double countout, a beautiful fall-away slam by the Natural. And Piper enticing the fans here in Madison Square Garden, getting a reaction like only he can. And Piper whipping DiBiase hard into the ring apron. They're on the outside floor here at Madison Square Garden. Beautiful forearm to the back by DiBiase, and a belly-to-back suplex on the concrete floor. Are you kidding me? And a belly-to-back in the ring, and Reed takes the Macho Man down. You'll notice no managers are at ringside. Virgil not at ringside. Miss Elizabeth not at ringside. And of course, the Dr. Style Slick is not at ringside. And a body slam on the floor by Piper, reversing the favor. Meanwhile, Reed drapes the Macho Man across the top rope. This action is fast and furious here on Prime Time Wrestling. And all four men doing battle just for an opportunity at Mr. Wonderful's World Heavyweight Championship. And now Reed setting up the Macho Man on the top turnbuckle. Oh, and DiBiase throwing Piper into the guardrail. Reed has the Macho Man up. Oh, and another head first into the guardrail. And a suplex off the second turnbuckle. Reed takes Savage up and over. DiBiase has Piper. Oh, and a snake eyes on the ring apron. And Piper is in trouble. As the $1 Million Man gloats on the outside floor, Reed rams the Macho Man's head into the top turnbuckle. And now setting up the Macho Man again. He already did a suplex. Is he going to try another? Reed up to the second turnbuckle. Another suplex. Coming up. A second superplex. And DiBiase thrown into the ring post. I think he's been busted open. He has. By my vantage point, it looks like DiBiase's been busted open, and he is. Piper has DiBiase throwing him into the guardrail. I I don't know why Butch Reed is not going for a cover. He nailed Savage with not one but two superplexes. And Piper and DiBiase fighting on the outside floor. You can't tell me that this feud is not personal. It was Piper who was victorious at the big event when he put DiBiase to sleep with Goodnight Irene. As Butch Reed has the Macho Man and power bombs him into the turnbuckle. Oh man, Savage is in trouble. Meanwhile, Piper has an abdominal stretch on the outside floor and lets DiBiase out of it because he can't win the submission on the outside floor. Savage fighting back against Reed. And the Macho Man not staying on top. Instead, he's catering here to the crowd in New York City. As both Roddy Piper and the Macho Man are not used to getting cheers, and they've been getting the support of the fans in recent months. And a beautiful backbreaker by the Macho Man. DiBiase and Piper still fighting at it on the floor. Piper gets sent to the floor. And a big knee to the head by the Macho Man on Butch Reed. Savage, off the ropes, drops an elbow to the back of the neck. DiBiase stomping away on Piper. And now, Savage with stomps. DiBiase with a punch to the head. And DiBiase throwing Piper back in. Again, all four men will be in the ring at the same time, and not a single elimination has happened yet. And a beautiful airplane spin by the Macho Man takes Reed up and down. DiBiase drops a fist. Fans, we need to take a commercial break, but we will stay with the action. If any elimination happens, we will definitely show it. We thank you for tuning in to Prime Time. Oh, and there's Macho Man taking a shot at Piper. Oh man, we gotta go to a commercial break. We'll be right back after this quick timeout. And fans, welcome back to Primetime Wrestling. Piper has DiBiase up on the top turnbuckle and slam off the second turnbuckle. During the break, the Macho Man and Piper went at it. Butch Reed was pretty much out of it until just now, getting back in the ring. And now Reed working over the $1 Million Man. Nails the DiBiase with a flying clothesline. Piper and Butch Reed double teaming the $1 Million Man for a moment. And now Piper going into Reed's leg and slams it down to the mat. DiBiase throwing, or being thrown over the top rope by the Macho Man. Oh, and a beautiful elbow by Reed, busts open Roddy Piper. Piper's been busted open. So both DiBiase and Piper have been busted open here in this contest, and Piper stomping away on the upper body while Savage works the lower body of the $1 Million Man. And now Savage and Piper double teaming DiBiase on the outside floor, and this allows Butch Reed to gain his composure inside the ring. And Savage, well aware, slides back in the ring and goes after Butch Reed. Has him set up for a pile driver, and he nails him with it. A pile driver by the Macho Man. And now drops an elbow across the face of Butch Reed, while DiBiase starts stomping away on the legs of Roddy Piper on the outside. I think DiBiase and Piper have spent more time on the outside floor than in the ring. And as I say that, DiBiase throws Piper back in. And he's setting up Piper. Could it be the $1 Million Dream? And oh, and he went for it. And I think Piper, oh, there it is. But Piper made it to the ropes. Oh, Piper was very fortunate to make it to the ropes. DiBiase's going to go for the cover, though, and puts his feet on the ropes for leverage. Piper's down 1, 2, and a kick out of 2. Meanwhile, Macho Man drops the elbow but knocks into the referee. Oh, he goes for the cover, but the referee got hit when the Macho Man went for the elbow. And Butch Reed could have been eliminated, but he wasn't. Piper going for a cover, but the referee is down because the Macho Man inadvertently hit him when he flew off the top rope. Oh, and a shoulder block takes DiBiase down. The referee is out. And there were possibly 2 pinfalls that could have taken effect there. And Savage and Reed are on the outside floor. DiBiase and Piper in the ring. Piper with an elbow to DiBiase's head. He's rolling over. There's no referee. The referee's still down. Savage was perched on the top rope and dropped the elbow to Butch Reed. The referee happened to be walking across and got hit. Inadvertent, was a total accident. But the Macho Man nailed the referee. The referee's been down. He's been down for a couple minutes here. I guess and the shoulder block by Reed takes Savage down again. He goes for the cover. The referee's starting to get back to his feet, but it's too late for this pinfall. And Piper nails DiBiase with a knee. Gorilla press slam by Butch Reed. The action, fast and furious, double axe handle going for the cover. And DiBiase makes it to the ropes. And Piper on the outside. He's going out for, what is that? It looks like a sledgehammer. Who puts a sledgehammer under the ring? And Piper dropping the sledgehammer. Piper kind of surveying the action from the outside. DiBiase in the ring is down. And DiBiase's been busted open. And Piper now working over DiBiase. So you got DiBiase and Piper busted open. And Savage setting up DiBiase. Could we see a superplex from the Macho Man? Piper working over Butch Reed on the outside floor. Reed reverses with a kick. It was an arm drag from the top rope of the Macho Man. Has DiBiase in trouble. Piper with jabs to the natural Butch Reed on the outside floor. Winds up and nails him with a big right hand. Takes Butch Reed down. And the Macho Man working over DiBiase in the ring. The action here is fast and furious, fans. We thank you for tuning in to Prime Time. Savage going for the submission. Has a chin lock locked in on DiBiase. Is DiBiase going to tap? The high knee lift by Piper on the outside floor on Butch Reed. DiBiase gets out of the chin lock submission maneuver. And now whips Savage into the turnbuckle, chest first. And DiBiase setting up the Macho Man. Piper throwing Butch Reed into the ring. And Piper going back into the ring, going back after now Butch Reed. DiBiase dragging Savage to the center of the ring. And goes for the cover. Referee's down 2 and a kick out at 2 by the Macho Man. Piper has Reed in an airplane spin on the outside floor. And dumps him down on the floor of Madison Square Garden. Savage whipped into the turnbuckle. Oh, and Piper thrown back into the ring, and all 4 men back in the ring. Up and over goes DiBiase. The action's been fast and furious here. 2 men have been busted open. We are 13 minutes in, and Butch Reed has Piper up. Gorilla press slam. Up, and and Piper draped across the ropes. That has to be it. Butch Reed reeling Piper back to the middle of the ring, rolls him over, and Piper will be the first to be eliminated. A gorilla press slam off the top rope, 2, and throw a kick out by Piper. Don't ask me how he did it, but Butch Reed gorilla press slammed Piper and hung him over the top rope. And Piper somewhat in control here. Suplexing Butch Reed back in. DiBiase sent it to the ring post at ringside by Savage. We are 14 minutes into this match and not a single elimination has taken place yet. And that is shocking considering how fast and furious the action is in Savage. Has DiBiase prone, sets him up, could it be another elbow? Piper going for the cover on Reed. Our first elimination and the kick out by Reed. Savage up, And a crossbody on DiBiase. DiBiase's a bloody mess. Piper went for the cover and Savage stopped it. But wait a second. It's an elimination. And now Piper and Savage going at it. Savage has Piper. Piper elbows Savage in the midsection. Another elbow. And a third elbow. And Piper and the Macho Man going at it here. An inside cradle by Piper. Referee in position. 1, 2, and a kick out by Savage. And now Piper going back to work on Butch Reed. And DiBiase attacking the Macho Man. Reversal. Oh, and a big right hand by the Macho Man. And up and over goes Piper, and up and over goes DiBiase. And now Reed and Savage both following the members that they threw out over the top rope out to the floor. Butch Reed circling around. I think he's going to go after Savage. Meanwhile, Savage has a headlock here on DiBiase, working the neck. But Piper's getting back to his feet. And DiBiase unceremoniously dumped on the floor. And there goes Butch Reed into the Macho Man. And throws Savage face first into the ring post. And Piper getting back to his feet on the other side of the ring. Butch Reed and Savage going at it. Butch Reed throwing the Macho Man back into the ring. These two feuds crossing here at Primetime Wrestling are very personal. And Butch Reed goes for the cover. His feet on the ropes. Referee is counting. 1, 2, and a kick out by the Macho Man. And Butch Reed wanted to use the Macho Man as a stepping stone to title contention. And even though they wrestled at the big event, it was a double countout. One can argue that Butch Reed has gotten his wish. He's in a #1 contenders match. So maybe being involved in a match with the Macho Man has made his stock rise. As Piper rolls over DiBiase, goes for the cover, 2, and a kick out by DiBiase. And Piper charging after Butch Reed, rolls him up from behind. Could this be our first elimination? 1, 2, and 3. And just like that, Butch Reed is the first man eliminated in this contest. Butch Reed has been eliminated. It is now down to Roddy Piper, the Macho Man, and Ted DiBiase. And Piper and DiBiase are no strangers. They're in the ring, and Piper's going into the Macho Man, it looks like. Oh, and a double axe handle by Piper under the Macho Man, but DiBiase catches Piper. And DiBiase in control, and Piper with an elbow, a second elbow. And a third elbow. And there goes Butch Reed back to the dressing room. A valiant effort by the Natural. But it wasn't his night. And Piper ramming DiBiase face first to the ring post. And now Piper and Savage going at it. The Macho Man throwing Piper into the ring. It was Macho Man Randy Savage who earlier in the year pinned the World Heavyweight Champion Paul Orndorff in a tag team match on Saturday Night's Main Event. So the Macho Man would love to get his hands on Mr. Wonderful. As he is clotheslined over the top rope, Piper going back out against DiBiase. And he's helping DiBiase back up only to throw him back into the ring. And DiBiase's a bloody mess. Piper's busted open too, but DiBiase is a bloody mess. And DiBiase reverses and throws Piper into the guardrail. And a series of right hands by DiBiase has Piper reeling, and down to the floor goes Piper. DiBiase has Piper throwing him down and just tumbling down to the ground as Piper. All three men are very winded right now. They've been fighting at it for almost 20 minutes. And as you saw when Butch Reed was eliminated, there is no break in the action. It is non-stop until only one man remains, as Savage ramming DiBiase's head into the mat. Savage picking up DiBiase, who reverses it, and a shoulder block takes Savage down. Piper starting to stir on the outside floor. DiBiase has Savage. Up and over the rope goes the Macho Man. And a shoulder block takes Savage down. And DiBiase is in control. Currently here as 3 men remain. Now DiBiase focusing and turning his attention to Roddy Piper. Picks up Piper and a scoop slam on the concrete floor. And DiBiase working the neck of the hot rod. Meanwhile, Macho Man hasn't moved since being tossed over the top rope. I guess it's strategy. DiBiase knows that the Macho Man's in trouble, so he focuses his attention on Piper. And now he focuses his attention back on Savage, and Piper still. Oh, and a reversal. Savage throwing DiBiase into the ring. Piper's yet to move since DiBiase worked him on the outside. And now DiBiase has Savage thrown into the turnbuckle, goes the Macho Man. Takes the Macho Man up. And a scoop slam down goes Savage. And DiBiase climbing that second turnbuckle. Could it be that elbow drop? He has him lined up, and he nails him with that elbow drop. Could that be it? DiBiase, instead of going for a cover, chokes out the Macho Man. Piper recovering on the outside floor. And DiBiase has been in control since Butch Reed's been eliminated. Working over both Savage and Piper. Now has the Macho Man in a camel clutch type maneuver. Will the Macho Man give it up? A bloody Ted DiBiase has Savage in the camel clutch. Is Savage? No, Savage reverses and gets out of it. And face first goes DiBiase. Savage going for the cover. Will this be it? No. DiBiase makes it to the ropes. And Piper back to his feet. He's taking in the action from the outside, and that's a wise move because he needs the rest. And now Savage picks up DiBiase. And a backbreaker by the Macho Man. And the Macho Man going up top. Could we be seeing that flying elbow drop? The Macho Man's up top. Oh, he's letting DiBiase get back to his feet. Could it be that double axe handle? Oh, and he jumps in, it is. The double axe handle takes DiBiase down. Savage goes for the cover. Oh, wait a second. He goes for the cover. DiBiase's down 1, 2, and a kick out by DiBiase. And Piper there to pick up DiBiase, but wait, right into the arms of an atomic drop by the Macho Man, who's rolled up from behind by Piper. Oh, what a beautiful move by Piper, was scouting it out. 2, and a kick out by the Macho Man. Oh, Piper was paying attention the entire time on the outside, saw his opportunity when the Macho Man was least expecting it, and almost pinned him by a roll-up from behind. And now Piper picks up DiBiase and throws him into Savage. And wait, Savage and DiBiase have both turned their attention to Piper. Oh, that might get Piper in trouble here. Both Savage and DiBiase are both turning their attention to Piper, and Piper, I won't say he's running away, but he knows it. Oh, and both DiBiase and Savage back in the ring. A big knee by Piper sends DiBiase down, and a big elbow by the Macho Man. Going for a belly-to-belly suplex, but Piper reverses it. Snapmare takeover on the Macho Man. Piper has no friends. He has Savage up on the pile driver, and he nails him, and now Savage has been busted open. All 3 men left in this contest have been busted open. Piper goes for the cover on DiBiase, who didn't move. 2 and 3. Oh, and DiBiase's been eliminated by Piper. Piper has eliminated both Butch Reed and Ted DiBiase. So either the Macho Man Randy Savage or Roddy Piper will get an opportunity at Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and the World Wrestling Federation Championship as Piper picks up the Macho Man. Savage throws Piper back into the ring. Savage now working over Piper with a big forearm. Reversal by Macho Man with a forearm to the back of his own. Has Savage in a sleeper hold. This could be it. Good night, Irene. Piper's really raking it in. Savage trying to fight out of it. Can Savage fight out? Savage is going to tap. Piper really stretching it on. Savage fighting for everything he can. The referee's asking and Savage is fighting it. And Piper lets him out. Picks up Savage, who's winded. And an inside cradle. Piper can pin. 1, 2, and 3. And there's your number 1 contender, Roddy Piper. Then Roddy Piper has earned an opportunity. And Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. And here are some replays from earlier in the contest. Piper eliminated all 3 of his opponents by pinning Butch Reed, pinning the $1 Million Man, and pinning the Macho Man Randy Savage. So Roddy Piper is the undisputed number 1 contender to the World Heavyweight Championship. And he will get his opportunity at that championship on September 15th as the World Wrestling Federation and Gotmark76 makes their way back to the Philadelphia Spectrum, and that will be the main event for that show. Fans, we thank you for tuning in to Primetime Wrestling. I'm Gotmark76, and we will see you next week. Good night, everybody. What the what?